Welcome to the 10th Year Seniors Podcast Network. This is the Accredited. We got a lot to get through today. First of all, John, how are you making it with the new schedule? I know we promised the people on our last episode on Guardian Radio that we will be back and we will pump out more episodes and we will have our laptops muted when we start. We made a lot of promises. How you dealing with the new schedule?
You made a lot of promises.
You co-signed it.
Justify. No. I kind of have to go. What am I going to say? No?
Yes, you can.
And if I say no, you're going to be like, it's for the brand, it's for this, it's for that.
I would say that, but then that is how these things work.
I get what you're saying, right? I mean, we were supposed to shoot one the other day. We ain't do it. Life gets in the way sometimes. It's two of us. Look, just so you know, we shot an episode with Chef Pratt.
Oh, Jesus.
How long ago was that? We started with this. This just getting edited now. I'm rendering that file right now.
We promise never to bring that up. We can't even bring that up in public because he is going to listen to this and say we making fun of the fact that we ain't brought his.
Should we bring this one out before we bring the other one?
I plan to actually.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
I plan to actually bring this one out before.
Yeah, so we can make sure that we clip this. So after this one, hold on, I gotta do the prep. After this one, because this is my camera, right? I press the record button. It'll be easy to edit. After this episode, your episode will be on.
And that's a clip that makes it to Instagram. Absolutely, for sure. We got a lot to talk about this week. The NBA has this unique thing where the transaction is so powerful and the transaction is something that brings in so much attention. You got some people out there that actually like that more than the games, which is kind of insane, but this is why the NBA has become a year-round sport because we get to follow it all the time. I want to get to that. Of course, you got to talk about Giannis. You got to talk about the draft. We got to talk about the World Cup. And we have to talk about what happened to Johnny after Nationals.
Boy.
Because he instantly... And I feel it for the young reporters in the game, but he instantly became the biggest villain in terms of Bahamas baseball in one fell swoop.
Just so you all know, Renaldo Dorset does not write for the Tribune.
No, but even if I did, I mean, also, I can't even say that wasn't going to happen because this is one of the things I want to bring up. You know what? We could just start there. This is one of the things I want to bring up because it's not even the reporter's fault most of the time. Okay, so
for sure.
It's the reporter's fault. Never. It's always some editor's fault. 100%
allegedly,
of the time.
Just in case.
Are they litigious?
I don't know. Just
all right. Allegedly.
Now we're safe.
Just in case they're very litigious. Allegedly. So, Andre Rogers Baseball Nationals was this past weekend, and
great Nationals, by the way. Great environment. Great. The play, fantastic. Saw it all on our news. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yes, all of that is absolutely true. And I think what is always intriguing to me about that is, and I said this before earlier this week, is there another local sport that has the kind of energy and the kind of rivalry that you see with the Freedom Farm and JBLN rivalry? Because if there's a close game, it's an amazing atmosphere. And I don't think we get that anywhere else, because when you think of all of our top sports, right? Track and field, yeah, you got clubs, but that's an individual sport. It's about me getting the time, me getting the mark.
Only BISSQC SAC would take that. Old school, back in the day, Hugh Campbell stuff was that environment where you were like, oh, this is an actual real environment of, you used to go to AF Adderley, used to be standing room only. Now no one goes to these things. No one knows about Father Martian coming up things. So, there are things that have gone by the wayside, but swimming, it's always jam-packed out there.
It is, and that's because the sheer volume of but it's not even just about the number of people you have there, right? It's about the back and forth of the rivalry. And I like the swimming idea. I guess that would be the closest one. But for there to even be a perceived rivalry, I think you got to be kind of going back and forth. And in this generation, it's just Mako way out here and everybody all the way behind. I think you need them to actually be challenged for it to be a rivalry. And so for Baseball Nationals, you got 7 divisions, right? Freedom Farm would argue that it's not a rivalry because they win all of the younger ones, like from T-ball straight to 14U, and then JBLN wins the older divisions. They would win the 16U and the 20U.
Here's the thing, right? Everyone's like, it ain't no rivalry. It is a rivalry.
Yeah,
Just say what you want to say. Because you
winners
win
are
so
the
much,
ones that say it's not a rivalry.
because it's so much winning if you do all the winning and blah, blah, blah. Apparently, I woke up in the morning and JBLN dominated. That's all I know.
Okay, so let's get to that, right? Freedom Farm wins. So this is how they have it separated. At Blue Hills Complex, they had all the younger divisions, from T-ball to 14U. So at that one complex, Freedom Farm wins all of them. Mm-hmm. And then over at the stadium, you have the older ones. You have the 16U, you have the 20U. JBLN won both of those. 7 divisions in total. Freedom Farm wins 5, JBLN wins 2. So in the Tribune, the headline was JBLN dominates because they just focused on one division, and that was the 20U. So if you just looked at the headline without even actually reading the story, and you're a Freedom Farm person, you could imagine how that went over in all the group chats. And I thought to myself, as someone that was once involved in this atmosphere, I am sure these people took this very well and they were very reasonable about this mistake that happened. Or was it even a mistake? So the way you got to look at it is, okay, these things are not actually decided by the reporters. It's always decided by some editor. I think one of the worst things in journalism is that the reporters don't get to pick their headlines. And when I discovered that's what it was, I thought this doesn't make any sense because I'm the one that actually knows what goes into it. I'm the one that understands the context of the story. I should decide the one thing that is going to stand out to people right away. Because, I mean, people sometimes ain't even reading stories. They're just reading headlines. But that was a funny thing emerging out of Nationals. And I just wanted them to not kill my boy, Jonathan Burrows.
I mean, is it something where we're looking at what the important age is, though? Because I get where it's going to come from. Is this going to be the mentality of we win the most groups, so we win the thing overall? Or is it we know the real competition is in the 16U or 20U or whatever it is, and that decides the bragging rights?
I think real is subjective to whoever's winning that.
Yeah, no,
because
I feel like this is my opinion. I feel I don't even know the age categories, but the big kids, I'll call them big kids, was what, under 16, under 20?
Yeah.
All right. I feel like those kids have their bragging rights, and the other ones are the parents with the bragging rights when the kids play in the younger category.
So that's one way to look at it. I look at it like on the opposite end of the spectrum in terms of. So I think the most important part of this is these leagues are supposed to be development leagues, right? I think it's clear-cut Freedom Farm is a better development league because if you dominate from 6 all the way to 14, where they're learning the game at that level, then yeah, they win hands down. I don't know what the secret sauce is. I don't know if it's a combination of coaching, a combination of styles, a combination of, I don't know, just the way the game is being taught, skill level, personalities, whatever it is. But I think they dominate at that aspect. And then there is the argument that a lot of the players who go over to any other league, whether it's Freedom Farm whether it's JBLN or any other one, a lot of the players, they would get their start at Freedom Farm. And so you have that foundation and then you go and play somewhere else. I mean, Kaizen was one of those kids, so I understand what it is. And he wasn't the only one. It's a lot of them. So in terms of development, they have that. I think what they got to look at is what is the disconnect, why that turns at a certain point.
I don't know. I do know you can't play in both leagues or else you're going to be suspended forever and ever and on, man.
If John knows nothing about local baseball, he will never forget the time when they made
Free
Kaizen.
Free Kaizen. No. You're only limited to play what we allow you to play. You can't do these other things. Like, come on now.
Yeah, I don't know. But, okay, but water, what is it? Where does the water go? Beneath the bridge?
Under the bridge.
Yes, water under the bridge. Be over that. It ain't important. Chasing something completely different at this point. But I think because this is one of those sports that I feel like is probably the most underappreciated in the country in terms of the recognition that it gets for the Bahamas internationally, juxtaposed to the lack of support that it gets here, I feel like the Nationals should always be placed in a bigger spotlight. I mean, it can't get much bigger spotlight
Any
than the Prime
national
Minister
should be
being
the
there.
biggest spotlight, hands down.
The Prime Minister shows up at this one. I mean, yes, because his grandson plays, but however you get him there is how you get him there.
Yeah.
He's showing up at that. I just feel like this should be one of those nationals that people place a bigger premium on. I mean, it's named after the first Bahamian to play in the MLB. Every single big name that gets to that point has passed through this. So
Yeah.
I still don't feel like it's getting the recognition that it deserves. But the rivalry is one of the most intense in the country. And I feel like that's something who even people who aren't connected to baseball at all know those two brands. The brand recognition is strong. You know Freedom Farm and you know JBLN. You heard of it before.
Yeah. Of course. And they're probably like, I know we say it and you always say it and we said it already. They're the two leagues that have established that they're here and they're not going anywhere.
And look, even if you don't place baseball on your Mount Rushmore of most important sports in the Bahamas, I'll say this. Show me another industry that has put millions in the hands of young Bahamian teenagers other than that one in the 80s that we don't talk about as much anymore. But there has never been another industry that has made really, really wealthy young men like baseball has. And you could point to all the misses, but the ones that hit, the hits are there. And this is, bar none, one of the most successful sports in the country. So I think it deserves its just due.
No,
So-
it deserves its just due because here's the thing. You have people who are 16, 17. Lives are being changed. They're going professional. It's not always, and we prime to Jazz. Jazz wasn't the big signee with the big money and the big thing,
No.
right? It happens to be, look at BJ. BJ wasn't a big, he got drafted out of college.
Went a complete different route.
He went a complete different route. So there are different routes to it. But if you're trying to tell me at 16, 17, you can go into your profession.
Which we all want to do. It's the whole reason we go
Yeah,
to
the whole
college.
reason you go to college. You can get into your profession. There's nothing wrong with it saying it didn't work out, right? Because now there's things that they could put it in to still say you can go to school, you can do this, you can do that. You're not ruining your life at doing that. You're either going to make the cut or you're not going to make the cut. And it's better to know earlier so then you can figure out what I'm going to do the rest of my life.
Bro, that happens in the workforce, in
Yep.
life all the time, in every workforce. But we started this now. We got to end this Nationals talk right where we started that headline writers, reporters, you got to get that one right.
Killing
You got to
us.
get that one right. Like, you know what that's going to look like. You can't be that off base.
Yeah.
It can't be the one that won 2 divisions. Your headline is that they dominated. Like,
Domination, bro.
I mean, come on. I know it wasn't me. If it was
No.
me, it would have been funnier.
Yeah, and it ain't me either.
No, if it, like John said, it was great all around. Great atmosphere. What did you say,
The
John?
atmosphere was boy, 5 stars. 5 stars, bro.
Okay, speaking of 5 stars, let's talk some prospects. We're gonna get to the draft. No big surprises in the draft last night. Although I personally a part of me wanted to see Darren Peterson pair with Trey Young in that Wizards backcourt, but I completely understand why they took AJ DeBansta. Everybody in Utah must be sick because they have been putting money into that kid. I mean, it was obvious a reason why he went to BYU.
Yeah.
So it was
100%.
supposed to be a BYU to Utah pipeline. Didn't quite work out, but I think they're going to be very happy getting Darren Peterson. So no surprise there in the top 3. Boozer was going to go in the top 3. Most people think this was one of the most talented drafts we've had in a while. I don't know how people are able to tell that.
Ain't no VJ.
No, there's no VJ. I don't know how people are able to tell that really soon. I feel like you need years away from it before we can make that determination. But we love giving out draft grades. We love hyper analyzing things way too soon.
Honestly, I forgot the draft was on because it wasn't that important in my life.
Because there was no Bahamians there.
Yeah, I mean AJ's store still has a shot to go.
I know, but
second
because
round.
he wasn't going in the first round, you didn't pay attention
And then
to
I
any
completely
draft news.
forgot that they do the first and second round different days. Like, come on, just get it all done one day.
Yeah, but I mean, it's 30 names. That's 30 families. That's 30 stories to tell. I'm good with that.
60.
I mean, when you take it day by day.
Yeah.
So that's why they split it up like that, 30 per day.
Whatever. 30 for 30. I don't care.
Okay, so one of my biggest things from the first round was I feel like Atlanta is one of these teams on the rise. Atlanta's on that trajectory. And now that, I mean, Buddy ain't gonna be back there, right? We don't have to hate Atlanta no more.
I know.
Anyway, I wanted
You could ask
them
him this weekend.
I wanted them to get
Miami?
Darius Acuff out of. Yes, we're absolutely. That's not going to be one of the things we asked. Wanted them to get Darius Acuff because I feel like he would have been the perfect complement to that team after seeing the kind of season he had at Arkansas and the season
You
he
mean the
should.
former Kentucky kid?
The season he was supposed to be a Kentucky kid if Cal was still there. Everyone at Arkansas is supposed to be a Kentucky kid. You think they originally ever wanted to go to Arkansas?
Tyson, boy. Tyson chicken.
That ain't no money compared to horse money.
NIL?
Horse money?
Yeah, but they don't have no horse logo on the court. They
need it.
you know what? Kentucky Derby, make an NIL fund for Kentucky.
I'm sure they do.
I didn't hear about it.
Anyway,
I feel like that would have been the biggest news.
so
You
Darius,
think they're going to name a horse Carl Anthony Towns from Kentucky?
I wouldn't be surprised at it.
They should, though.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, he should definitely get one. I'm surprised Cal doesn't have one.
Carl Anthony Towns is a great horse name.
It is. I mean, isn't any name though?
No.
You've heard a bad horse name? I feel like literally anything in the studio could be a horse name.
Yes, but I feel like
White shirt hanger, great horse name.
There's elite.
Black
White shirt
teleprompter.
hanger, sure, great. But Carl Anthony Towns, like, no disrespect to the guy. Mark Pope ain't a good horse name.
If it wins a triple crown, isn't it?
Now, if you just say Pope something, hey, it might work. You know what I'm saying?
If you go Mark Pope and then verb, like Mark Pope jumps, better horse name.
Mark Pope speed, something.
Better horse name.
But I'm just saying, but you can't invent the thing. Carl Anthony Towns is a great name.
I see where you go. You like the three names.
Yeah.
You like either the three names or the one strong, powerful name.
Shea Julius Alexander.
Good horse name?
Yeah.
It's because it's three names. That's all. Now we see what you like. You just like the three names. So, okay. So Darius Acuff goes to Sacramento, where I think careers go to die. Was not pleased with that at all. And right at the number 8, where he should have gone, this is how you know Atlanta wanted a point guard anyway, because they took Fleming at number 8. But the thing about the draft, other than AJ Storr not going in the first round, but I did want to talk to him though. So I saw somebody, a Wisconsin fan, tweeted this out, and I had to bring it up on the pod here. And they said, it's funny to think that if AJ Storr stayed in Wisconsin, he would have been a first round talent being selected tonight. What did you think about that?
I think yes and no. Sometimes you got to go out when the hype is there. And we spoke about this with Buddy before. Buddy is the exception to the rule.
Yeah.
Where if he would have came out his junior year in Oklahoma, he would have been a late round pick. Let's just be real. He would have been between past lottery to like 26, 27. AJ out of Wisconsin was late first round, early second round, but in the league.
Yeah.
Right? Then it just goes, because it is tough to be a player, right? And to change your system so many times. You're not consistent with the system. 1 year you're looking good, 1 year you're not. When he was at Kansas, he showed in the tournament that he could play, right? Like he has his flashes that he could play. But people want to see the consistency of like, hey, what playbook do you know? What this do you know? It's just an unfortunate scenario where I always tell people, if you think you're a first round pick, go.
I think the people that say that in Wisconsin, I mean, obviously this person had a particular Badger bias, which I get it. I understand. But I think most people look at the projection of what he was doing that year at Wisconsin as a sophomore and seeing where that was going to go if he had 2 years within the, like you say, within the same system, within the same staff, with the same familiarity, and not having to continuously start over again.
Yeah.
Then you see him go to Kansas and the role changes because you go to a bigger program and it's not the same. It was noticeable to everybody right away, not the right fit. And then you have another shift when you go to Ole Miss. And that season had a whole lot of ups and downs early on until he hit that SEC tournament and went on a ridiculous run. And we were saying if this was the NCAA tournament, that's a run that gets you drafted.
Yeah.
So his whole college career was upheaval after upheaval and never really settling in. But a part of that is you got to chalk it up to the game, because isn't that where college basketball is right now? I mean, I know a lot of people use him as like the standard bearer of what's wrong with the game and kids moving whenever they want, wherever they want, and playing right away. He's not the only one that's going to do it, but he's one of the easiest to point to because it was so many schools during that.
And that's easy to say, 8 schools, 8 years, how consistent this and that. I think AJ, he's a prototypical NBA body, NBA type guy, like the spacing. I've seen him around NBA guys at training camp. He could hoop, right?
He ain't scared to shoot.
No, he ain't scared to play. I think he's probably going to be a G League player, but we've seen it already. Guys who go to the G League, especially at his position, who could play a slash, small forward, guard type thing, going to get elevated pretty quickly to the league. Like he'll be on if he gets a 2-way contract, then he's going to get the league experience in that contract. So
speaking of contracts, we have to talk about the biggest one of the weekend. Well, the biggest transactional move. I want to say it did kind of overshadow the draft because the draft didn't have surprises, right? And I don't know how much of a surprise this was because it was supposed to happen the season prior, but Miami and Milwaukee finally pulled the trigger. They finally got the deal done.
After 5 years.
After so long, Giannis makes the move to South Beach. And this story, of course, we heard about it during the season because there was so much back and forth with Giannis. Do I want to stay in Milwaukee? Do I want to go? Where do I want to go? Putting feelers out there. And it kind of lay dormant for a while because people just thought it was going to happen. Mm-hmm. And then the story picked up when Boston was in the running. And then Jaylen Brown's name was thrown around. Mm-hmm. Do you think this was the right move? No, I don't want to grade it in terms of who won and lost a trade because that's another thing like
right
the draft.
Move for Miami?
We never know who wins or loses a trade. I want to start with Milwaukee first. Do you think it's the right move for Milwaukee the way it was done?
Yeah, because they'll keep losing leverage. Like, that's just the reality of it. Every year that Giannis gets older, the less valuable he gets. That's just father time. That's all that is. And you're getting back a lot of pieces. And maybe now you go, okay, rebuilding mode. Let's try to trade some of these pieces to get some picks and back and that type of stuff. I'm trying to rebuild the team because no one going to Milwaukee.
Nobody's going to Milwaukee.
Like Milwaukee
you got to
and
draft
Sacramento are like cities that people ain't going to. So the reason why they won the championship is because of Giannis. So I feel if it gets to a point where a player is just like, hey guys, I did everything I could. I brought you a championship.
12 years, right?
Yeah, it was long. Whatever it was long. I did all of this. I think it's time I got to move on. You then got to put the respect to and even if you get something lesser value, you still have to respect the player enough to be like, hey, we got to move him.
And you know what it is to me? As much as people complain about how it's done, nobody does it the right way because there's no fan base that's going to be okay with it. Here's the thing. When they don't want you there anymore, they just want you to go as soon as possible. But when you want to leave and your value is still high, it's never seen as doing it the right way. So I don't think any player should be concerned about how they do it or what they're leaving behind them because that's the reason you get up out of there in the first place. Mm-hmm. Milwaukee taking this long to get it done was so much in their benefit because I think they were able to get more from the Heat than the Heat intended to give up. This is not the package that the Heat put together last year at the trade deadline. That wasn't going to be it. They feel like they had to do more when Boston came into the mix.
Yeah.
And once you hear a name like Jaylen Brown. So I don't know if Miami intended to give up that many players and that many picks. However, when one of these are available, when a megastar like this is available.
This reminds me of Shaq.
At 31.
Yeah.
This ain't 41. This is 31. When a megastar like Giannis is available, you have to go get him.
I agree.
So you show them that roster and you say, hey, what y'all want? This one, maybe this two is off the table. Take everything else. I don't fault Miami for doing that at all.
No, I don't fault. Like I said, this reminds me of the Shaq thing where you had D-Wade and you had Shaq. Now you're going to have to start finding, all right, how are we going to fill this roster with cheap players? I know a player called Kai Jones that they could use.
who has been better at that for the
Heat.
last 30 years
That's what I'm saying.
than the Miami Heat? You could go back to Vashawn Leonard and Ike Austin. The Miami Heat always find these gems, polish them up, and you know what happens? They find them, they're great for Miami, they go someplace else, get the big bag, not as good.
We brought up AJ Store's name. AJ Store might be a player that the Heat are looking at saying, hey, we only got to pay you a little bit of money.
Hold on, let's talk some more about this roster construction. Follow me down this path because I do want to get there, right? First of all, I do think the pairing of Bam and Giannis work well together. These are not the prototypical kind of bigs where you go back to basket, dump it on one block, dump it on the other block. They are both versatile scorers. They are both players that you can run an offense through, and they've both had experience doing that. So they are bigs that are also playmakers. I think this makes the Heat elite defensively. When you pair that with the fact that you have Davion Mitchell, who's probably one of the best wing defenders in the league, this team has potential. I'm not saying they're going to win right away because that's almost impossible to do. Only the pairs KG, Ray Allen, Celtics did that right away. But I think they have a chance to be the best defensive team in the league right away.
100%.
What you build around them three. And look, if you have wing defenders that are not so great, guess what's behind them? Bam and Giannis. So, I mean...
So you got Wiggins, right?
Got Wiggins. You don't know what's going to happen with Norman Powell yet, but odds are...
This dude was just an all-star.
Yes. It's his first time being an all-star. He's an unrestricted free agent. He's going to go for that money. But what has everyone been crying about is their biggest need, John?
Everything.
Shooting.
Yeah, Buddy, Clay.
Their biggest name is shooting. I know some shooters that are available. I know some shooters that would do well with the Miami market. Buddy was in Atlanta cleaning his shoes.
I mean, he's still in Atlanta.
I know. He's in Atlanta cleaning his shoes, doing nothing.
It's all speculative.
Oh, yeah, allegedly. You go get a shooter like that. He fits perfectly with Heat culture.
Yeah.
He's the kind of hard worker, first one in the gym, last one to leave. He would be that guy. And if your complaint about him always has been, I would love to see him in the system, by the way. But if your complaint about him has always been on the defensive end, what better defense? But he's not. But you know, when these NBA narratives start the BS, it's no way to stop it. So people just regurgitate the same information, whether it's true or not. But who would he have behind him as defensive anchors? Bam and Giannis. I'm with it. I'm a little more concerned about the Clay thing. You will have to sell me on Clay going to Miami.
I just know how to get the money. Like, that's going to be the biggest thing. The biggest thing is you got to hope that Atlanta buys out Buddy to a point where then he could pick a team, right? But also, I don't think Atlanta could be that stupid to say, let's get rid of Buddy. And then we pay him $3 million, and then all of a sudden the Heat pick him up.
And this is where the business side is gross, because you saying that literally a person at this point in their NBA career, you would rather them sit there and fester than give them an opportunity to maximize earning potential.
Because they want whatchamacallit? They want to win. Anyways, I just type Buddy's heel name and it says name to keep an eye on for the Miami Heat. Buddy heel, Buddy heel. I don't even have to go to Twitter to figure this out. Now, Buddy in Miami. I mean, nice. You see how much VJ bring to Miami?
I didn't want to stop just at Buddy, John. I think they could get Buddy and Clay. Because you don't need one shooter. You need multiple shooters. Every player on the floor for the team that was the NBA champion
Let me tell you
was
something.
a threat.
If Buddy and Clay in Miami, I could be there so much. You know what? I don't even need a media pass. Give me a friends and family pass. Whole season. Let's go.
I'm a little concerned about Clay in Miami.
No way. Clay is a businessman.
I understand Clay is a businessman. I have every confidence in me that Clay is of the utmost professionalism. However, you saw LeBron did a pod a few weeks ago where he said Miami is a very dangerous place for a 23-year-old man.
Good thing he ain't 23.
With lots of money and all the options in the world. He is something even stronger than 23, John. He is a man that just had a very public relationship with a hip-hop superstar. And that makes you even more attractive to the element in Miami. I would be very concerned for Clay.
You know what Clay wants?
Yeah, I saw. and some other things.
He won 5.
Yeah.
He won 5. No.
I just saying all year.
You put Clay on the Heat, right? That man is going to hoop so hard.
No doubt.
With the Heat.
No doubt.
You get Buddy and Clay on that team, all of a sudden you're looking like a team with sense. And Miami could be so much fun.
John,
I love Giannis.
Clay on South Beach post Stallion. Just saying.
Clay in a Heat jersey shooting threes. That's what I'm saying. With Buddy shooting threes. Bam scored 83, you know.
Listen, I love it. I think this is the best case scenario. I think you have that, and then you could plug in the roster around it, and that's a team I think that could compete for a title in year 2.
Yeah. I mean, boy. I mean, it would be fun. I'll go to more Heat games for sure.
Isn't it always? We would have to co-op them from some people. Like that would have to rise the rankings of the favorite team there. If you have both of them on the same team and it's Miami, they would leapfrog some people.
I know there's probably a ministry that would spend a ton of money to, sponsor some stuff there. Not us, but just, spend a ton of money that has, nothing to do with helping creatives and Bahamians and things. But anyways.
Progress in your chest.
Yeah. Hopefully they have an out clause in this contract.
Progress in your chest. All right, let's get to the World Cup. Of course, the biggest sporting event in the world is going on right now, and I know next to nothing about it. And this is a segment I like to call, John, tell me everything that's happening in the World Cup. So, John, tell me everything that's happening in the World Cup.
So, I've been watching the World Cup, but I ain't really been watching the World Cup.
You were supposed to be our expert. No. You're supposed to tell me everything that's happening.
I can tell you enough. Please. Here's the thing. This is where I'm going to take it. I sound like an old person with this. As a purist, right? Now they expanded the World Cup to 48 teams, right?
How many people were in the World Cup?
It used to be 32.
This? Oh.
So they expanded it to 48. I get the reason to expand it.
How many would they have to expand it to for us to make it?
196.
Okay, go ahead.
At least. And I don't even know. I think we ranked 200 in the world, so we'll have a shot after that. But I'm watching these games, and it's great to see smaller countries like the Curaçaos, Cape Verde, those countries in the World Cup, right? Now,
shout out Cabo Verde.
My biggest story is being an old goalkeeper, great,
Apparently being an old goalkeeper is the thing to be.
You know about that.
I did know about that.
Cape Verde's goalkeeper, I don't even know his name. Anyways, he shut out Spain, right? Shut him out. And he went from like 50,000 followers over 15 million followers during the game, which is crazy numbers.
Yeah.
Crazy numbers.
Crazy numbers for your IG.
Boy, crazy. Boy, his market value alone for IG just went up.
Yeah.
Like what type of sponsor can I get? Any. Just get any. Hey, I go in Chick-fil-A today. Yeah. No, but
and all gals.
All. But he shut out Spain, man of the match, and it just goes to show the World Cup is always good for these moments. One moment I do remember in the World Cup is when Trinidad and Tobago played in Germany and they tied their one of the games. And to me, that was such a big moment because it's like you play in these powerhouses. I forget, it was like Sweden or something. You play these powerhouses and you're tying with them. And remember, getting a point in the World Cup is a success. It's not like when you tie in a World Cup, it's like, hey, it's a success. Then you have your boy from Curaçao, 37 years old, played a stupid game, had like 15 saves. You know what it is at 15 saves?
The position where you don't have to run up and down as much and you can have longevity at, that is the star-making vehicle at the World Cup this year. That's the early theme. I do know one of the themes because this is how the 10YS research vehicle moves.
I'm not...
sorry. Go ahead.
With the
back
thing.
to old goalkeepers.
Oh, no, not just the old goalkeepers. I'm not done with the Cape Verde. I'm going to roll back to that.
Yeah. Sure, go ahead.
They get cheat.
How could they upset those fans?
They get cheat.
I don't want anybody upsetting Cape Verdean
Uruguay
fans.
powerhouse. Let's be real.
Won the first World Cup. I know that.
And like the second or third. Won 2 Olympic games. That's why they got 4 stars. There's 2 Olympic games and 2 World Cups because they won those Olympics before the World Cup came out. So anyways, Your boy got WWE tackle in the box.
Ah, yes, you did show me this clip.
And I was just like, how is that not a penalty? Right? Because if that's a penalty, which it is, not saying it's not.
Curacao gets a
No,
penalty.
it's Cape Verde.
Cape Verde
They
gets
get
a
the
penalty.
penalty shot. Now you got to convert the penalty shot. It's not a given to whatever.
Yeah, but you get the shot.
He makes that. He gets the penalty. They make the shot. They win the game. They advance to the next round like automatically. And now Uruguay has to play Spain, and they probably don't make it to the second round. Uruguay still got to play Spain, and Cape Verde's got to play Saudi Arabia. So if Cape Verde ties, I think that they advance to the old format of the World Cup with 32 teams remaining.
So you go 48, 32, 16.
16,
Okay.
8, 4. You know?
Well, obviously, I'm just rooting for the happiness of the Cape Verdean fans at this point. So if you tell me that is a team that I should adopt, then I'll go ahead and do
So,
that. I don't.
Teams.
Oh, African teams. I need me one of them. I need a good cross section of teams.
I think all African teams cool.
I got to pick one.
If I had to list them,
No, I could.
it would be
root
like
for all.
Senegal, Ghana, South Africa
Hold
ain't
on.
doing much.
Do I treat?
Egypt.
Do I treat my?
Cape Verde's African team.
Yeah, I was about to say. Do I treat my World Cup rooting interest the way I treat quarterbacks, or the way you allege that I treat quarterbacks?
So you hate Argentina. You know they have a list. They have a list.
But I like
of-
Messi.
You know they have a list of like how many black people are on each team, right?
Point me. Why did we start the podcast there? Point me to this list right away. This is how I need to follow the World Cup. Cape Verdean fans first, and then how many black people are on your team. And I would like to root for the colonized countries and not the colonizers. That's kind of how I'm figuring out a system here where I can adopt a World Cup team. And it's not too late because apparently this goes on for a very, very long time. How long is this tournament?
For like a month and a half. it
Yeah,
seems
so
like
I
now.
have a lot of time to still try and find a team. I've been liking what I'm seeing from I like the Congolese fans.
Mm-hmm.
They seem very high energy. Oh, there was something else I was supposed to ask you about because I heard it on Laboratory Show. What is this Tan Army or Tan? Who are they?
I know. Anyways, I
Okay.
got the list. So if it was up to you,
If it was up to me.
your teams, the Democratic Republic of Congo,
Yeah.
Ivory Coast, Ghana, Haiti, Senegal, everyone on the team is black.
Yeah. I mean,
Everyone. Then Curaçao's
I like
got
a little diversity.
Curacao and South Africa is 25 of them.
Curacao always has a
it's
good mix.
One Cape Verde is 8th,
Yeah.
which is 3 off, right?
Yeah.
Teams that you will hate. Uzbekistan, 0. Turkey, 0.
Didn't they
Paraguay,
change their name?
South Korea, Czech Republic,
I'm cool with South Korea.
Croatia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Argentina, New Zealand, Egypt, Iran, Iraq, 0. Scotland got 1.
How? I mean, anyway. But see, Argentina got messy though. And for a person that has absolutely no connection to soccer and doesn't know anything about soccer, I know 5 people. Mbappe,
Qatar got 13.
like the Jamaicans. Is it 13 Jamaicans? Because we know who Qatar's get down, and I know how much of them on their track team. That's probably 13 Jamaicans. That's the reggae boys.
They found people. But you want to hear a funny stat, right? So apparently, was it France who played Senegal or something?
Senegal or Congo? Anyway, I think I know where you're going with this, but yeah, go ahead.
It's like all of them were born. Yeah, France had like 90% of the players on the teams were born in France.
Well, I mean, if you look at the French basketball team, it would kind of like be the opposite, right? I don't think most of them have French lineage. But anyway, so for someone like me that doesn't know anything about soccer, doesn't know anything about the World Cup, I know a few names. I know Messi.
Also, let me just say about France.
Go ahead.
France has pretty much 100 players born in the country of France are playing in this World Cup. Over 70 born players chose to represent other national teams. Does this make France like the soccer capital of the world?
I think so.
I think so too.
I think they. Well, if they get it done here, right? And
Mbappe good too.
if they get this done here, And then what most people expect to be Wemby's revenge tour in LA 28 in basketball could be looking rough for everybody else. So back to the 5 names that I know.
Messi, Renaldo,
Yeah.
Mbappe.
Yeah. Is it 5? It may be 4. I know your boy from Holland.
Holland is, you mean, from the, like,
He's the
brown
white.
hair guy.
He's the white one.
Holland, yeah.
His name is Holland?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so where's he from? The Netherlands?
No, like Sweden or something like that.
Okay, all right. Well, I know that guy. And then
Is this Norway? Norway. He's from Norway. He's a Viking.
Kind of obviously know him. And then each one of them has had star-making moments.
Well, what's the 5th one?
There was 4.
Oh.
There was 4. The 5th one is probably the Cape Verdean goalie.
What's his name? Exactly.
I know Thierry Henry.
Yeah, he used to play.
I know Zlatan.
They're both commentators now.
I know Headbutt the guy because he was talking about his mom, French guy. I know Zinedine.
Mm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He headbutt a guy and got away with it. That's crazy.
I'm trying to think who else is like a big time player in this World Cup.
I know Christian Pulisic.
He ain't played the last game, but yeah, that count.
I used to know a lot of Chilean players because of you. You fall off at that.
I mean, they fall off too. What you want me to do?
I don't know nobody. You used to have me knowing all of them. I used to be talking about them fluently.
That team fall off.
What happened to y'all?
Hey, they just happens, boy. Like you have your golden generation, and then it just goes down, then it comes back up.
So y'all had y'all golden girls, and now it's a lull. Okay, all right, I got it. All right, so Senegal and like 8 other teams. That's who I'm riding with now. Okay, all right.
Yeah, all the African teams.
But I cool with Mbappe winning.
Yeah, I don't care. See, here's the thing, and I'll tell you like what it is. A team that has won the World Cup already, I just be like, yeah, whatever. We've seen it before. It ain't nothing new. It's like the Patriots winning Super Bowls.
You want the story. You want kind of the underdog story. What is it that you would go with? Well, that you would prefer in this, like some sustained excellence or underdog story from out of nowhere.
I would love to see Cape Verde make a nice run and maybe make the last 8. I think even the last 4 and be in the 3rd place game. I think that'd be a great story. But we all know what the biggest story of this World Cup would be if it happens.
USA?
Hell no.
I think it would be.
Hell no.
You don't think so?
I'm talking about real big story.
Are they good?
I mean, they are. I'm talking about real big story.
Messi winning another one.
No. Messi versus Renaldo. What do you think is more appealing to the world?
And the loser has to leave soccer forever.
I mean, that might happen regardless.
I mean, in terms of star power, I mean, it's not like the World Cup has to struggle to get fans, right? But in terms of star power, that would pull in even the people like me who don't even know what channel to find it on. So if you
I watch it on Telemundo.
If you end up having Portugal versus Argentina, then yes, absolutely. All the commentators and all the writers, they get to wax poetic. That would be the perfect ending to somebody's career. Yes, that would be it. Or you have the Cape Verdeans and their fans playing spoilers.
No, I could live with that. I could live with that one.
Or the USA. I don't have to pull for the USA.
One of my favorite things that I saw on the internet, and I got to find it, and it's like people who learned about Cape Verde, right? And it's just like countries in red. And it's like Spain, Venezuela, Uruguay. It's like no idea about them, but we introduced you to Cape Verde.
I know who always knew about them, and we're going to end it here. Shout out to the group chat. Some names have to be redacted, but we knew about Cape Verdeans a very long time ago.
Years.
That'll do it for this episode. When we get back, we will do more updates on the World Cup, and maybe Pride episode to be out.
If any Cape Verde fans want to come on the show, let us know. Got to be gals though.
Let me see what we can do.